to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nicola with Chasing Castles and Bows, and I'm so excited to come on here today. We are going to be doing my Master Disney Planning Guide. I think it's super important to have a really well planned out Disney trip to make it seamless. And unfortunately, Disney is not one of those trips that you can just kind of wing it when you show up. So I'm hoping that this will make it so much easier for you in regards to planning your trips and making it stress-free. And yeah, so let's get started. I have my coffee, which is almost half drank because, let's be real, kid drop off this morning. So I'm ready with my coffee and let's get started. We are going to start with our master planner. So when you have decided that you are going to be taking a trip to Disney, whether it be Disneyland, Disney World. I'm focusing on Disney World because that's where we vacation often. But Disney World planning, and you have solidified your dates, you are going to open up the master planner. And on that master planner, you're going to fill in your trip dates. So year and dates that you're going to be traveling. Now this master planner, as you can see, it gives you the specific dates, and then in columns, it gives you all of your kind of time map out, which is going to be really important for when you're in the parks, when you're going to be going to your Disney reservations for dining, and just kind of like the times that fireworks shows are going to be occurring, etc. So this is going to be a nice spreadsheet. This is when I refer to like the master Disney spreadsheet, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to open that up. You've entered your dates in, and now you're going to be pulling up my daily Disney planner. So the daily Disney planner, stuttering, need more coffee. The daily Disney planner is going to then take your parks individually, and it allows you to kind of play around because there's a lot of moving pieces and factors when it comes to choosing what park you want to visit and on what date. So I have you pull up the Disney individual park planner, and it has a really cute graphic at the top that will be each park's emblem. So there's the Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. And so each of those, you're going to circle which park you are going to, and then you're going to circle the date below it. It says Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. You're going to circle which date you are attending that park or plan to attend that park. And then we're going to map out the day. So first, I just want you to start by circling the park. Okay, so you're gonna make a decision as to which parks are priorities for your family or your party that's traveling with you and when you want to visit those. So for now, we're gonna hold off on choosing what date you want to visit that park because as I mentioned before, there's a lot of moving parts in regards to what the park hours are and if there's parties attending or occurring at that park. So we wanna hold off on marking what date we're gonna be visiting that park. So start by printing out an individual sheet or having an individual sheet for however many parks your family plans to attend and circle your parks. Then I kind of have a rule, I call it the rule of threes. And so my rule of threes is if you were to go to Disney World and you go to that particular park and you can only ride 3 rides, what would that be? And if you don't get to ride those rides, will it make your trip like you're not going to be happy if you don't get to ride those rides? So that's my rule of threes. I have, and you'll see in the little columns, top ride priorities, 1, 2, 3, and then must do experiences. So think about what rides you absolutely have to ride on, fill those in, and then mark what 3 experiences you must do in that particular park, whether that be get a Black Calf Coffee in Galaxy's Edge, or you want to go to Nomad Lounge in Animal Kingdom. You want to make sure that you have those experiences written down on this page, okay? And then you're going to see below that there is going to be a spot for special events. So if you are traveling in any of the holiday months, particularly for the fall season and Christmas, Magic Kingdom is going to have the Christmas party and Halloween party occurring. And so that does alter plans quite a bit because that park will close early on those dates. So you want to make a note of, is that park that you're wanting to attend, does it have a party that night? And write that down. Below that, it's going to have park hours. So we plan our trips pretty far in advance. So I don't normally know the exact park hours until closer to the time, but for most individuals, depends if you book that far out, you may or may not know your park hours at this time. So I would make sure, if you know them, write in your park hours for that park. And then just below, there's little bubbles, as you can see, and they have early entry, rope drop, a party, lightning lane pass, or premier pass. So you want to mark what you are going to do that day at that particular park. Are you going to early entry? You're going to rope drop for a specific ride. If there is a party, like we mentioned before, check that box. And then choose if you're doing lightning lane multi-pass or premier pass. And that's going to give you a better idea of what time you need to be up. Are you going to be leaving the party or leaving the park early, attending a party later in the evening? Just helps you kind of prioritize in your head what's going on at that park. Okay, so now we should have our entire Disney Daily Planner filled out. So again, we don't have a specific date marked for this park yet, but it's more just an educational sheet on that park that you circled and all the information about it, okay? Then it kind of gives you some flexibility. You can kind of look at what your priorities are and kind of see, like, put your parks in order. And I just kind of do like a tentative order at the beginning. Like I say, okay, we want to go to Animal Kingdom the first day that we are there, the full park day, and we're gonna rope drop Flight of Passage. And then we have our 3 rides we're gonna do, and that's gonna be our first day. And I kind of just like go after that. So each park, depending on what we decide we want to do. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we also have on this page your top 3 rides, your top 3 experiences, and that's all filled in. Okay, sip of coffee. Okay, so we have now kind of put our parks in order of preference for what we think our trip is going to be. Now this can change at any moment. Like I just had something happen where I was talking with my mom and she's like, oh shoot, the electric light parade has changed their hours for fall and winter. And I'm like, oh man, I based our dining reservation that night around this time for the electric light parade. So I had to go on quickly, change our reservation time. Thank God they had an availability. And then I had to kind of carefully after that, make sure everything fell in suit with our plans. And it did, thank goodness, but that's what makes this easy, is that you have everything mapped out already, so you can kind of like play around with things and move things as needed, and things will change. That's just kind of part of the Disney planning experience. Okay, so we have all of that marked out. So you also have to think about, and this is one thing that our family does, and I really think it makes a huge difference, is taking breaks. I know we all want to be in the parks as much as we can, riding the rides, but when you're traveling, especially with kids, and sometimes adults can be kids as well, in regards to needing to be fed, needing some breaks, it's important to just kind of build in that downtime within your calendar, because it makes a huge difference. And you know, no one likes to be just like go, 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 and not having any breaks to enjoy what they're experiencing. So for us, as I mentioned before, we do a midweek pool day. So for us this year, it's going to be occurring on Wednesday, and we're just going to stay at the hotel. We're going to Yacht and Beach Club, have an amazing pool. It was just refurbished. So we're going to stay at the pool all day, hang out, and then later in the evening, maybe go to Disney Springs and grab a bite to eat thereafter, and then catch fireworks. So we're just doing like a down day, and I like it because it's midweek, kind of lets us reset ourselves for the rest of the trip. Okay, so speaking of dining, we have our parks mapped out now. Like I said, you kind of have a rough idea of what we're going to be doing each day. And so now, since the dining reservations is the first thing that needs to be booked in regards to like trip planning for reservations, the dining plans usually 60 days out from the first day of your trip. We really kind of need to look into that and see what dining experiences are important to you, what you want to do for meals each day, and then map that out. So included in that daily Disney planning spreadsheet or sheet that I created, at the end, the second page, there is a dining planner, and you'll see that right here. Very simple. There's no need to get complicated with these things. The dining planner essentially goes Monday through Sunday, And so if you stay longer than 7 days, lucky you, I'm very jealous. But if you stay longer than 7 days, you can print out numerous pages of this if you need it. So for this, it's gonna say breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you don't have to have a dining reservation for every meal of every day. But it just allows you to kind of also map out like, hey, Monday we're gonna be in Magic Kingdom. We're not gonna do a formal lunch. We're just gonna grab cocktails and a snack at a restaurant, and then you can fill that in. Or dining dinner, we're not doing dinner that day, we're just gonna be at the club level eating their snacks and food, and you can fill that in. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have reservations for every breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it just allows you to plan out again and like fill in what your plans are going to be. Okay, so what I would recommend when you're choosing your dining reservations is to go on to Disney's main webpage, click on the dining tab, and really just kind of scroll through all the restaurants that are available and look at what kind of sparks your attention. Or, oh my gosh, my girls would really love, you know, this Disney princess dining breakfast. Or Cinderella's table would really be a great experience for us. And so just kind of jot down on a side note, either whether it be on this template or just on a piece of paper, the ones that really kind of spark your attention and really would be something that you think would fit well for your family. Once you've done that, then I would look at where these dining reservations or locations are, and if they're in a park, do you have to have a park hopper to access that dining reservation, and then kind of map it out. So if you know that you are going to be doing a character breakfast early in the morning and it's at the Magic Kingdom location, maybe that's the morning that you decide to do Magic Kingdom, and you kind of play around with it in that way. So I think that really prioritizing your restaurants before deciding breakfast, lunch, and dinner is important, because then you kind of research all the restaurants. You say, okay, these are my top 3 dining dinners that I want to try. I want to try this one character breakfast, and I really want to get snacks and drinks at this particular restaurant in the afternoon when we're in this park. And then you can kind of plan it out. So this is where you're going back and forth between your daily Disney planner and your dining reservations or your dining research that you have done. My last bit of advice for dining reservations is have a backup plan. And I say this because dining reservations, it never fails. Every year, I just feel like it's chaos. Like I hate to say this, but as you saw in my prior video, I'm up at 2 a.m. making these reservations, and it's just insane. And so for me, I gotta have it mapped out. My brain isn't functioning fully that early in the morning. I need to have it written in front of me with backups. And the reason I mention the backups is because if you have a flexible schedule and you know that like, okay, I could do Narcoossee's on Friday, but I could also do it on Wednesday, and that's a backup option. Or Citricos, like I could do Citricos 3 nights out of the week. None of our plans, intervene with that reservation. Then you can kind of manipulate them a little bit and move them back and forth. And it allows you to be a little bit less stressed when the dining reservation window opens. Because you know that like, okay, I can grab this one, I can grab this one later when my brain is functioning fully and I have coffee in hand. I can pick which one I want to keep. Also, a key point, you can make multiple reservations at a restaurant on multiple days. So like my mom and dad are on their computer, I'm on my computer, my husband is on his computer or phone, and we're all trying to grab reservations for the restaurants that we want. And then we don't hold on to them for a long time because you want to allow people to have access to the restaurants as well. Once we're able to kind of come together as a group and process the reservations that we have grabbed, then we can kind of let go of the ones that we're like, that's not going to fit for our schedule. So I would recommend doing that for whatever restaurants are really priorities for your family. And then you can kind of look at your calendar and see which one would work best for you in regards to like shows at night, what parks you're in at that time. Just allows you to have a little bit more flexibility and know that you still have the reservations that you want. Okay guys, we are almost there. Thank you for sticking with me. I know this is long, but again, it really helps just lay everything out for you to hopefully make your Disney planning experience seamless. If you have any questions about any of this, you can drop it down below in the comments. I will absolutely respond to you, help you out in the best way I can. Again, like I mentioned, I'm just here to hopefully try and make it easier for you when you're planning your Disney trip. Okay, so in saying that, we have planned out our Disney days, hopefully our park days. We have solidified, or at least kind of mapped out, our dining opportunities and desires. Now, the next thing that will need to be planned in your trip, which is much sooner to your travel date, is lightning lanes. So if you have chosen to purchase Lightning Lane Multi-Pass or Premier Pass, continue listening. If you have not, then you don't have to listen. I'd love for you to listen. But this is specific to Lightning Lane Multi-Pass planning. And I have created a Lightning Lane planner, which is going to be up, you can see it up here, but again, it will be linked below. The Lightning Lane planner is essentially, I tried to make this the easiest possible, like I mentioned before. Each park is going to be on here. You are going to see Tier 1 and Tier 2 rides, and then they're all going to be listed out, and then also the individual Lightning Lane options as well. So whatever rides are available for individual Lightning Lanes, those will also be listed in that section. So the first section is Magic Kingdom. So you'll have your Tier 1, your Tier 2s, I'm pointing here, and then the individual Lightning Lane is going to be down here at the bottom. If my finger isn't going in the right direction, sorry, but and then Hollywood Studios will be there, that'll follow, and then Animal Kingdom and Epcot is at the end. So all the parks are up. I also tell you at the beginning, you're going to pick 1 Tier 1 and then 2 Tier 2 rides. So I like this because it's all spelled out for you. Like, here's our Tier 1s, here's our Tier 2s, choose 1 and then 2 from the other column, and then if you're doing the individual Lightning Lane or not. So pretty easy to follow. I think that this gives you, this is literally so important when the Lightning Lane day pulls up, because then you just boom, 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 click through and pay, of course, at the end, but it just makes it so seamless for you to already know in your head, like, okay, these are the rides that I talked with my family about that we want to do, we want to prioritize, and then it gives you kind of an idea of what you're going to be planning. So I love this guide. The Lightning Lane planner is probably my favorite one. They're all check boxes, so you just check. You don't have to do anything fancy with it, and that's your Lightning Lane planner. So Lightning Lane reservations, as I mentioned before, if you're staying on property at a deluxe resort, can be booked 7 days out from your first date of travel for the entirety of your trip. So the way that it's going to look when you are on your app is you literally just click, your first park day, boom, click your rides, pay, move on to the next one, next day, and you just work through it in chronological order. If you know that you are visiting a park, this is kind of like an insider pearl. If you know that you're visiting a park that has very competitive rides and those are important rides to you, then I would start with that park day. So like, for instance, we're going to Epcot towards the end of our trip and we're rope dropping Remy, but then Test Track is in our Tier 1 choice for that day. And Test Track is new and it is going to be probably difficult to book. So I'm probably going to start with Epcot date first to solidify that Test Track ride, and then go back to Animal Kingdom, for instance, which we know that that's going to be an easier park day to book. I'm also going to have both me and my husband on this, so we'll both each have 2 days, so it'll make it a little bit easier to grab the rides that we want because they're happening simultaneously, as opposed to having to wait. So that's a little insider pearl as well. If you can have multiple people on grabbing your Lightning Lane, reservations, a little bit easier. Okay, I need a sip of coffee. You guys, this is fun. I love doing this. I don't know if you can tell. I hope you can tell, but I love doing this. Okay, so another thing to talk about within this category is Premier Pass. I am so excited this year that we are going to try out the Premier Pass. So I'm gonna have a vlog on that specific day, how it went for us, if it's worth it. That is going to be coming up, and I'm so excited to record that video for you guys. We have decided to choose our Premier Pass for Hollywood Studios. The reason that we chose that day is because the last time we went there, it was just a little chaotic. There's a lot of heavy hitter rides in that park. Maybe not for younger children, like toddler age, but my boys are older now. They love like thrill rides. They love roller coasters. And they like all of the rides in Hollywood Studios now. So for me, it was really difficult getting all those lightning lanes last year, and we didn't get all of them. So I feel like this year we've decided to prioritize and do the Premier Pass for Hollywood Studios. And I think also the other part of it is like, I just want to relax. Like, I love that Premier Pass, as expensive as it is, which is a little ridiculous. I'm hoping Disney drops the prices at some point. They probably won't. I love that you can just go into the parks and do things on your own time. So for me, like, I love the Black Calf Coffee at Galaxy's Edge. So for me, I just want to be able to walk in, grab my coffee, not be freaking out about getting to my first ride on time, not worrying about rides going down because I can go back when they're back up again, and just really enjoy the park. Like, enjoy the shows, enjoy walking down Hollywood Boulevard and just taking in all the history and the scenic stuff, as opposed to just like bang, 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 like going all around the park. And the other thing with Hollywood Studios is the rides are very spread out. So like, you have Tower of Terror up front, and then you have the Villain Show all the way in the back, and then you have Galaxy's Edge in the back, and it's a lot of like bumping between areas within the park. So it's a lot of walking, and like, I just think I want to relax. So that is our plan for Premier Pass. So when you are booking that, it's a separate tab when you open up your Disney app. But you just click it, pick your day, and then purchase it. There's no like choosing rides or anything like that. So that makes that portion of it a lot easier. Okay, and another thing, some little like pearls about the park planning that I just wanted to make sure I added in here was, we have found that when there's a party going on, which is like most of our days, it's like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday are when the Not So Scary Halloween party is happening at Magic Kingdom. So on those days, we have found that because the park closes early and they get all the guests out around 6 p.m., the park tends to be a lot less crowded, because most people that are investing in buying a ticket for Magic Kingdom want to really like capitalize on that and have like full park hours. So they want to be there until park closes, which is usually 10 o'clock. So from that standpoint, we have found that the park is a lot less crowded, and that's what we're planning to do when we're there. Like, Magic Kingdom is going to be on Monday, and we are planning to be there until they kick us out, and then that's the plan. So I think if you think about that too when you're planning your days, like, do I really stay all the way until close? If you don't, which we don't, then it might be nice to do one of those park days, because it's not going to be as busy for you and your family. Okay, and lastly, once everything has been finalized and you feel like you have a really good map out of your Disney trip, make sure that you plug it all into the Master Disney Planner, because that is going to then give you like time slots, and you can look at it all on one page. And then if you feel like, I don't like that, or I want to move this, you can kind of play around with it at that point. But just make sure that you upload all of whatever you've planned into that master planner so that you can see it all on one spreadsheet, which is what I love doing. And then it just lets you kind of like play around with things a little bit and finalize your plans. Okay, guys, so that's us. We are planned for our trip, hopefully. I really hope that this has made your planning experience easier, more simple, less stressful. I don't know. I just hope it helped in some way. These PDFs took me some time to make, and I'm happy to share them with you guys. I hope that you utilize them. If you have any questions about planning, feel free to drop it below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming vlogs, because now I'm going to start vlogging. I actually have some like videos that I'm going to be doing, which is so exciting. And I'm just excited to go on this journey with you guys. So thank you for being here. And as I mentioned before, like, this is what it's about. I mean, I wish that I could tell you guys like, oh, just show up at the park and wing it, but that's not how Disney works. And when you have it pre-planned, it literally makes you feel like you're just walking in and winging it. When you're not, it requires a lot of planning, but I just think it makes it a lot less stressful, especially when you're traveling with kids. So hopefully this helped you quite a bit with your planning endeavors. You guys have a great day. And again, don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future trips and experiences chasing castles and bows. Have a great day, guys.